Hello and welcome back to Timeless Wisdom. Have you ever glanced around your home and wondered why it feels cluttered, even though everything's technically clean? As the years go by, our homes change alongside us, gradually filling up with all sorts of things: memories, gifts, little habits, and keepsakes. Sometimes, without even realizing it, those familiar spaces start to feel just a bit overwhelming or chaotic. The truth is, clutter isn't always about having a mess. In many households, especially if you're over 60, it can quietly build up. That once empty corner now holds a chair nobody uses. The coffee table becomes a landing spot for things we'll get to later. Drawers and cabinets fill up, but deep down, what we really crave is a sense of peace. That's why this video is so important. Today, I'll be sharing 5 common things that can make your home appear more cluttered and older than you might think. More importantly, I'll offer gentle solutions for each. The goal isn't just to make your space look good for guests, but to help you feel more relaxed and comfortable in your own home. Because a tidy space isn't about impressing others, it's about bringing you peace of mind. So if you've ever looked around and thought, why does something feel off? This video is for you. Let's take this journey together, making one small change at a time. Number 1. Piles of paper and old mail. Stacks of paper have a way of making a space feel heavy, emotionally and physically. It often starts innocently enough. A few envelopes you meant to open later, magazines you plan to read, notes, receipts, old bills, even expired coupons. Before you know it, there's a pile on the kitchen table, one on the end of the counter, maybe a few near the phone. And the more they sit, the more they blend into the background, until they don't. Paper clutter adds a silent weight to the room. It makes your space look busier, and it subtly tells your brain there's always something left to deal with. That's a quiet kind of stress that can stick with you without realizing it. The interesting part: most of the papers in those piles are either expired, unimportant, or duplicated elsewhere. Many seniors keep medical appointment slips, medication instructions, or warranty papers they think they might need but rarely ever do. There's also something deeper going on here. Holding on to paper can feel like holding on to control, like saying, I have everything in one place. But when the piles grow, it starts feeling like the papers are controlling you instead. I knew a man named Carl, 78, who had 6 folders on his dining room table, all marked important. When I asked him what was in them, he said, I'm not sure anymore. That's what happens when clutter disguises itself as preparation. The fix doesn't have to be big. Start with one pile, set a timer for 10 minutes, toss what's clearly junk, then decide which papers truly need to be kept and store them in one designated spot. Everything else, let it go. You're not throwing away memories. You're making room for peace. Number 2. Too many knick-knacks and figurines. There's something comforting about surrounding yourself with familiar things. Souvenirs from vacations, porcelain angels from your sister, little trinkets that once sat on your mother's shelf. These things carry stories, warmth, and meaning. But when every flat surface in your home is covered, it can quietly make your space feel smaller, more crowded, and yes, even cluttered. Over time, collections tend to grow, especially when you're sentimental. You might keep adding just one more piece: a tiny ceramic dog from your niece, or a Christmas gift that doesn't quite fit anywhere else. And suddenly, the shelf that once told a story now feels like a visual wall. It's hard to dust, hard to clean, and most of all, hard to enjoy, because when everything is visible, nothing really stands out anymore. What's happening underneath the surface is this: every object in your home asks for a bit of your attention, even if you're not fully aware of it. Your mind is always scanning, registering, and reacting to the space around you. So when your living room shelves are filled with dozens of little figures, your brain is constantly working. That mental noise adds up. You may not feel overwhelmed, but you might feel tired and not know why. I once visited a woman named Helen, 81, who had over 150 ceramic birds in her living room. She loved them. Each one had a memory. But she told me, "I don't really see them anymore." That's the moment when joy becomes background noise. I suggested she pick her favourite 12 and give them a special display. The rest, she gently boxed them up, labelled them, and stored them safely. Her room looked bigger, lighter, and her smile came easier. Letting go of items doesn't mean forgetting the people or the places tied to them. It means choosing what deserves to be seen, what truly reflects who you are today, not just who you've been. Keep what brings peace. Tuck away what clutters the eye. It's your story, just told more clearly now. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, oversized or outdated furniture. Big furniture was the style back in the day. Solid wood cabinets, oversized recliners, massive entertainment centres that could hold a full stereo system, a TV, a stack of VHS tapes, and then some. Back then, it made a statement. But now, as we get older, that same furniture can end up taking more from your space than it gives, and that makes the whole room feel heavier, darker, and more cramped. There's a psychology to this. Our environments shape our feelings more than we realise. When a room is filled with bulky furniture, even walking through it becomes something to plan around. You shuffle a little closer to the wall, squeeze past the coffee table, watch your toes on that sharp corner. That physical tension, though subtle, keeps building, and it can weigh on your mood without you ever realising it. I once helped a gentleman named Walter, who was 77, downsize his living room. He had this massive sectional that he and his late wife bought back in the early 90s. It was still in decent shape, but it swallowed the room. There was no flow, no openness, just furniture against furniture. When we switched it for 2 smaller chairs and a love seat, he actually laughed and said, "I didn't realise I had this much floor." What's important is that your space fits your lifestyle today. You don't need to entertain a crowd like you used to. You're not hosting 20-person Thanksgiving dinners anymore. Your space should serve you, not the other way around. Think lighter. Think easier to clean, easier to move, easier to enjoy. And if you're holding on to that old armoire or china cabinet because it was expensive or it's always been there, ask yourself, is it still serving me now, or is it just filling space? Making this change doesn't mean you're letting go of the past. It means you're making room for ease, for calm, for clarity. And believe me, when your furniture breathes, so do you. Number 4, stacks of old papers and mail. It usually starts with just one small pile, maybe on the kitchen table, or by the phone, or near the TV remote. A few bills you meant to take care of, a newspaper you hadn't finished reading, a note you wrote to yourself and meant to look at later. But then, later keeps moving, and that little pile quietly turns into a mountain. Suddenly, you've got mail from 5 years ago, catalogues for stores that don't even exist anymore, and coupons that expired back when stamps were cheaper. To someone else walking into your home, these stacks don't look like just paper. They look like unfinished business. They suggest that something's been forgotten or ignored, or that you've fallen behind. But more importantly, to you, they weigh on your mind every time you pass that pile. Even if you don't say it out loud, your brain registers it as one more thing you haven't done. And over time, those little signals build stress, fatigue, and even guilt. I met a woman named Carol. She was 68, who had one chair in her living room she never sat in. When I asked her why, she said, "That's where I toss the mail." For years, that chair had just been a paper collector. She said it made her feel like she was always behind, always catching up. Once we sorted it all out, shredded the junk, and set up a small tray by the door just for current mail, she actually started using that chair again. She told me it became her reading spot, said it made the room feel brand new. You don't have to be ruthless. You don't have to throw away your memories. But you do have to make space for the present. Set a rule. Nothing older than 1 month stays on a surface. Get a folder for important documents. Make a spot for current bills only. Let go of the rest. When your surfaces are clear, your mind gets clearer too. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Too much wall decor and random ornaments. At some point, decorating becomes less about design and more about memory. That clock on the wall, it was a wedding gift. Those figurines on the shelf, picked up on a trip to Arizona 30 years ago. The framed embroidery in the hallway. Your granddaughter stitched that when she was 10. Every item tells a story, and those stories matter deeply. But when there are too many stories in one space, they start to talk over each other, and your home begins to feel crowded instead of calm. What we don't always realize is that clutter doesn't just live on the floor or in drawers. It climbs the walls. It lines the shelves. It fills every corner until there's nowhere for the eye or the mind to rest. Too many visual items compete for attention instead of inviting peace. The room ends up feeling busy, anxious, or overstimulating. And you may not feel it outright, but your body does. It becomes harder to relax, harder to breathe deeply, harder to think clearly. I remember visiting an 81-year-old man named Frank. He had every inch of his wall space covered. Family photos, military awards, plaques, calendars from 3 years ago, and decorative plates he never used. He told me he hadn't noticed how heavy the room felt until his niece came over and quietly asked, "Uncle Frank, how come your house looks so full but still feels kind of empty?" That question stayed with him. Over the next few weeks, he took time to choose just a few special pieces to display. He boxed the rest and gave some away. When I saw him again, he said, "Now my walls feel like they're breathing again." The key isn't to erase your history, it's to honor it by giving it space. Choose a few items that bring you real joy or deep meaning. Rotate them if you want, but give your eyes, and your guests' eyes, room to rest and appreciate what's truly there. The beauty of a home isn't how much it holds, but how peacefully it holds what matters. Now, let's bring it all together in the final thoughts. Final thoughts from timeless wisdom. It's amazing how easily our homes can become filled with things that once felt meaningful. Maybe a coffee table that's been around for generations, a cabinet overflowing with unused dishes, or magazines that have quietly stacked up over the years. All these items aren't just taking up space on our shelves, they slowly fill up our minds as well. At Timeless Wisdom, we believe your home should feel like a gentle haven, not a place that adds stress or weighs you down. You've earned a space that feels light and welcoming, a place that gives you energy instead of draining it. Decluttering doesn't have to mean letting go of everything from your past. It's about mindfully choosing what truly matters to you right now and making room for your own comfort and peace. What's important is progress, not perfection. Even if today you notice just one little thing that makes you pause, a growing pile of unopened letters, a piece of furniture that's become more of an obstacle than a comfort, or simply a sense that your space could be more restful, that's a powerful first step. Sometimes all it takes is clearing off one spot or removing a single unused object to spark a whole new feeling of freedom and clarity. So as you go forward, try taking one small action. See how it feels to create just a bit more space for yourself. You might be surprised at how quickly a small change can lift your mood and bring you a sense of relief. Remember, this is more than just cleaning. It's about giving yourself permission to fully enjoy your home and your life. Thank you for being here with us at Timeless Wisdom. We'd love to know what spoke to you today, or how you might start making your home feel more peaceful. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Your words encourage us and help our community grow stronger. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support allows Timeless Wisdom to keep creating helpful and inspiring content just for you. Thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to connect with you in our next video.